Hi again then guys, so we've got another top speed tune for Gran Turismo 6 for you today, and this time it's for a hugely popular car from the whole Gran Turismo series, not just number 6. It's the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak Special, which is an insane car, always has been. So you want your racing soft tyres as usual. For suspension, we've lowered the ride height to 90 front and rear. Springs, we've just rounded off to 575 and 725. Dampers and anti-roll to 4. Camber pretty low on this one, only on 1, because it already has so much grip, you just don't need camber really. Neutral toe as always. For the gearbox, pretty simple gear setup really. You've got an auto setting of 230. I haven't touched any of the individual gears on this one, and we've gone for a final drive of the lowest it can go on 2. For the diff, we've actually got the highest initial torque on this one to make up for a bit of the turbo lag that you get with the longer gearing. High acceleration and low braking. And of course this is not a drag tune, so we've got a torque split of 30-70 to reduce understeer. You want your high RPM turbo and your downforce as low as possible. And interestingly, you can actually fit this car with a lightened bonnet, which is kind of weird, but there you go. Traction control is obviously turned off, as always. And yeah, so like I said, one of the most popular and most legendary cars of the Gran Turismo series, really. The Escudo has always been a crazy fast car. And it's kind of disappointing to see over each successive game that it's pretty much got slower with each new incarnation of Gran Turismo. Back in the day, on Gran Turismo 3 for instance, it used to be able to literally do 400 miles per hour. Then on Gran Turismo 4 they slowed it down considerably. Gran Turismo 5, I'm not so sure how it performed on GT5, but I think they slowed it down on there as well. And then on here, it's, I think, the slowest it's ever been. It may be slower on GT5 though, so I'm not sure of that. For a rally car, the top speed is pretty good. Now with this particular gear setting, it cruises at 224. Now you can make it better than that. You can get it up to about 227, 228 by increasing the final drive up to 2.2 or even 2.3. But with that final drive you are running right at the red line, so you don't have any draft potential at all really, or very minimal at best. Whereas with this setup you've got over 1,000 RPM, almost 2,000 RPMs worth of slipstream potential, so you should be able to, with this tune, get this car up to probably around 250, 260-ish with draft. Now obviously you can't extend the final drive any more than it already is, so if you do plan on using this car for slipstream racing, which I don't think many people do, but if you do plan on doing that, just take your auto setting, set your gearbox to the default settings, then go back to the auto setting, put it as high as it can go, and then just put the final drive down again, because obviously this one had an auto setting of 230. Because this is more of a top speed tune just for the car on its own really, with a tiny bit of draft potential, like I said, 250, 260-ish, just for when you need it really. But as always, it is a fast car, as it's always been. Technically its performance is probably the most realistic on this game that it's ever been, but it does seem kind of hypocritical that they've made this car more realistic, but at the same time an Alfa Romeo can do over 300 miles per hour. But that's Polyphony Digital for you. So I hope you guys find this tune setup helpful. If you did, feel free to subscribe. I put out new top speed tunes every single day. And as always, thanks for watching.